What happened to the unpopular bullied girl after high school? She committed suicide after struggling with mental health issues nearly her whole life. Wish that I had had the courage to reach out and talk to her, rather than just ignore her and stay in my own isolated bubble. I don't know if it would have changed anything, but it would have been nice to have known her a little better than just as the girl that was always pretty odd and alone and now gone forever. She ended up being valedictorian as well. She was incredibly smart, but nobody really knew that. A girl in my year was bullied relentlessly for being odd. Unfortunately, she had a very unstable home life and her mother suffered from fairly severe mental health issues. They had a very explosive relationship. One day during class she just couldn't suppress her feelings anymore, so she took a pair of scissors out of her bag and proceeded to cut off all of her hair, right there at her desk. That was 8 years ago. To this day, she still lives at home with her mother and does some sort of art course at the local college. Things don't always get better for people when high school ends, but I hope she is doing okay. The last I heard she was living on the streets. We've actually tried to track her down a few times over the years, but she appears to have disappeared. I truly hope she is doing better now. She was a really sweet girl. Other assholes kids would bully her for her weight, not realizing she came from an abusive foster home. She got pregnant and now has 4 kids and 2 divorces at the age of 26. And this ain't a joke. I know this person. At least she got laid a few times. She loved animals so much. Like, furry level, except furries weren't a thing back then. She raises and trains bald eagles now and is a complete, total badass. I love this happy ending. I hope my kids don't ever give up on their interests because of bullies. I was also a weird kid who loved animals to an extreme degree and kids were really mean about it. I was teased so much. I don't work with animals now, but I do have a lot of pets, donate to conservation programs, and I'm a teacher who encourages kids to take care of the earth. Every day I hope that I'm making a difference. She married a lovely, caring man. She worked for a number of years as a computer programmer. They traveled the world, bought a house, had a child who is now a wonderful young man. She now is a published author. I am so glad we became friends in junior high. She inspires me. This is the sweetest. It makes me happy to read it. She was bullied because she always smelled awful, had dirty clothes and greasy hair, and every time head lice was spread at the school everyone would accuse her of being the culprit. She dropped out and got married, got pregnant, but got harassed online for being a teen mom. Then everyone found out that the reason she was always so dirty is because her mother was in prison for child abuse. She didn't know who her dad was, and her aunt, who had sole custody, made her sleep on the floor with 14 dogs and didn't let her shower. People felt really bad and tried to reach out, but she told them all to fuck right off. She's really happy with her new family and looks like she's being the best mom. Got a job, supportive husband and a house of their own. It's sad she couldn't continue with her education because she was so incredibly smart. We went to a really prestigious school and she outperformed everyone, but ended up leaving without any qualifications. Good. People who bully like that deserve the shame and guilt of it. I was friends with her. All the other girls bullied her because she either wasn't feminine enough or was way too into anime. It didn't help she hung out with a bunch of nerdy dudes like me who played Magic, The Gathering and Warhammer every day, instead of hang out at the beach and hold wild benders on Fridays. She found herself the victim of racism by her fellow Asian students because she came from Vietnam, and was commonly insulted for it because she was really into Japanese culture, not just anime, but the media, music, fashion, etc. She was super conscious about her teeth, because she came from a poor family, divorced, raised primarily by an alcoholic mother who would soon develop severe mental problems. I mean, I love her mother a lot, she's really sweet, but she didn't really act responsibly with her children, resulting in them having really screwed up teeth with no money to fix it. She landed herself a serious boyfriend near the end of high school, a guy a few years older than her. Seeing her home situation, he decided to be her savior and got her a job at the game store next to his job. He moved out to get a cheap studio apartment where they could just live a normal life, where they didn't have to put up with the drama and stress of their families. Turns out they got too cozy with one another, and she got pregnant. She had to quit her job, and became a full-time mom. Was actually really good at it. The guy made an attempt to raise this kid, but it turns out he couldn't see himself living the rest of his life with this girl or being a father. He still wanted a college education, a major career path, and a more solitary life. He cheated on her while she was pregnant, but she thought it was just something that happens and he'll be more loyal once the child was born, so she didn't murder him for it. Nope, the cheating only got worse. To the point that he ended up cheating on the girl he was cheating on her with. Yeah, he was quite a piece of work. He suddenly disappeared shortly after their daughter turned 2. The overwhelming response wasn't one of anger, or fear, or apprehension. It was relief. Having him gone actually made her life more easy, and without him there, she got a lot of help and sympathy from her family. She moved back in with her mom, taking her daughter with her. Her brother moved back into the house too, for a little bit, just to help ensure the kid had food, supplies, and regular doctor visits. One of her old friends from high school reconnected. Turns out he was in a serious relationship with one of the girls who bullied her. The years were kind to their mentality, and without the high school environment polluting their perceptions, they ended up all becoming good friends with one another. Through them, she found herself getting invited to gatherings by these women who previously antagonized her. And when they found out she had a kid with a deadbeat dad who disappeared and doesn't pay a dime in child support, they were more than enthusiastic to help however they could. 10 years later, she's found herself a new man, a good man, and he was so enchanted by her that in a crazy lapse of impulsive judgment, put a ring on her hand without a second guess. They were going to move out, but opted to stay to care for mom as her mental state worsened. And her daughter is all grown up now. Blows my mind. She's now the same age as when I first met her mom. Looks just like her mom did at that age, a direct clone, and hasn't a damn bit of her father at all. Everyone my age is wrangling toddlers and attending Daniel Tiger-themed birthday parties. Meanwhile, my friend's kid joins us for Magic, The Gathering, late-night arcade ventures, anime screenings, quotes the IT crowd flawlessly, and hangs out with us like one of the group. And her kid is so grown up, she insists that her mom and daddy go have date nights, that she'll cook for grandma and watch the baseball game on TV with her. It's amazing. This kid loves her new daddy so much, she'll go out of her way to ensure he maintains a strong relationship with her mom. So quite a turnaround. Yeah, the person who tried saving her dumped a massive liability on her and left her for selfish reasons, disappearing and refusing to pay child support. But in light of that, the people who bullied her ended up supporting her. And her liability grew up into a responsible girl whose existence allows her to have a strong relationship with her husband without a ton of worry for her own mother. Yeah, they're still struggling financially, but they're climbing. Last month, she just had her first dental appointment in 20 years. And she hated every minute of it. Sounds like a bit of long-deserved normalcy to me. I'm fine, outwardly. Married to a wonderful man with 2 brilliant, beautiful children. Career I can work on in placeholder fashion while the kids are young but great potential for future developments. Internally I'm riddled with self-doubt, anxiety and depression. Always trying to please people, surprised that people seem to like me, and any time I see people talking in low tones to each other, my knee-jerk reaction is to think they're talking shit about me. I'm 37. Bullying leaves deep, deep scars. I was the unpopular girl, never really fit in, had a rep for being weird, but got good grades. Never really understood what made me weird, until college got difficult. Eventually went to get checked out because it seemed like my brain was always a bit off. Got diagnosed with autism, age 21, and it explains a lot. It was just harder to see because of my gender. ASD is underdiagnosed in girls, and because I was an overachiever at school, at the cost of having little ability to make friends and a lot of ability to alienate everyone in every school I'd been to. Girls, if you think something's up, get checked out. If I'd been diagnosed earlier, it might have helped people understand I wasn't just a batty old weirdo, and maybe, my schools would have helped me. Heck, my parents might have understood me better, and not just told me to get over it. It also just helps a lot, knowing it's not your fault. It's made me a happier person. Edit: I still have mental health issues stemming from inability to cope with social issues. A diagnosis isn't a cure-all, nor is it an excuse to do anything bad. It's just a means of understanding what's wrong, and leads to support and better management of conditions. She's my little sister and she has a master's degree from a prestigious European college. Her dream job is a book editor for Random House, expertly dyed rainbow hair and can do a better cat eye than any professional makeup artist. High school ain't shit. I love how proud you are. Smile. That was me. I'm pretty much a recluse and I'm very wary of people. I have 2 close friends and we were all bullied in some way. About a year ago, one of the girls that bullied me invited me to a Mary Kay party. I told her no. But I was socially awkward, had odd interest, I loved insects, was shy, and had some anxiety from my home life. Thanks for watching. Do not forget to subscribe for more daily videos.